A landmark decision in the global fight against COVID-19. Britain is the first country to approve use of the Pfizer-BioNTech vaccine for public use. The first immunisations will be rolled out next week.
Now that the Pfizer-BioNTech vaccine has been given the green light by UK regulators, it will only be a matter of days before immunisations begin.
Overall, we have good news today. We have a vaccine that is acceptably safe and effective. Good vaccine uptake will save lives.
Priority groups will receive the jab first, including healthcare staff, people in care homes and the elderly. The UK has already ordered 40 million doses. That's enough to vaccinate 20 million people with 2 shots each. It was just 2 weeks ago that the final trial results of the vaccine were released, showing a 95% efficacy rate with no safety concerns. It's the fastest ever vaccine to go from concept to reality, taking only 10 months to follow the same developmental steps that normally span a decade.
It's been done using a process known as a rolling review. A rolling review can be used to complete the assessment of a promising medicine or a vaccine in a situation where time is of the essence, in the shortest time possible. But, and this is a very important point indeed, that doesn't mean that any corners have been cut, none at all.
Other vaccines expected to come on stream soon include those from Moderna and Oxford and AstraZeneca.
Ollie Barrett joins us live from London for more on this. Ollie, the UK, the first country to start rolling out the Pfizer vaccines, and as we heard there, at pains to point out that no corners were cut.
Very much so. The regulator here in the UK is independent from government, so there is no way that government ministers would have been able to push this through or encourage this approval if the independent MHRA regulator didn't think that the vaccine was entirely safe for use. We heard from the regulator that no corners were cut, and that explanation of the way that the rolling review was able to take place, and clinical trials also took place in a phased way, which meant some of them started before the previous ones were finished. Again, the regulator said that did not compromise safety, but did allow the speeding up of the process. One other thing that vaccine experts say has really sped up the approval of this, but also the progress with other vaccines, is that instead of a normal process where you have to apply for funding, build a team, work out where you're going to host all of the trials and so on, the global impetus behind all of this and the funding from governments like the UK and others has just meant that those early parts of the process, which can last a long time in other vaccine development, have really been concluded very quickly. Boris Johnson saying that this news is fantastic, the British Prime Minister, but as I say, no sense here in which the government has been able to exert any pressure on the independent UK regulators who say this vaccine is safe.
Well, Ollie, giving the approval might have been the easy part. Now it's going to be the difficult part of actually rolling it out to the people. What are some of the logistical challenges you foresee?
One relates to this specific vaccine. The Pfizer-BioNTech vaccine needs to be stored at very low temperatures. That does mean it's harder to store, harder to distribute than some of the other vaccines that may well come online later. Vaccine centres being set up and down the UK now. The National Health Service has been warned to be ready from early December. The NHS is ready, according to the Health Secretary Matt Hancock, to start this immunisation programme. And he and others have pointed out that given the flu season we have every year in the UK and the millions of people that need to be vaccinated on an annual basis, this is something that the UK, they say, is good at, but this is an immunisation vaccine programme on an entirely different scale, the biggest we've seen in decades, according to UK experts.
And how soon can we expect approval elsewhere?
Well, the UK regulators are saying that the processes that they have been through, albeit faster than anyone else yet, are equivalent to those that will be taking place elsewhere in the world. So I think we do expect that the United States is close behind UK regulators here. There is some controversy at European Union level about the EMA regulatory body for Europe and whether that is lagging behind a little bit in terms of getting to this approval. Some suggestions it might not take place until the end of the year, perhaps even the beginning of next year. But certainly the fact that the UK regulator, which works in close cooperation with many others around the world, has given this approval now would lead you to believe that other regulators will follow suit and may well follow suit pretty quickly.